The Deportation of Mahmoud Khalil. A deep dive into the intersection of free speech, pro-Israel advocacy, and far-right politics in the United States. The arrest and impending deportation of Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian activist and permanent U.S. resident, has ignited a firestorm of controversy, exposing the complex interplay between free speech rights, pro-Israel advocacy, and the actions of far-right groups within the United States. Khalil's case, lauded by some as a victory against antisemitism and framed by others as a blatant violation of free speech, serves as a stark example of the escalating tensions surrounding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and its spillover into American political discourse. The role of Betar US and other pro-Israel groups, **. Central to this controversy is Betar US, a far-right, pro-Israel group that has openly claimed responsibility for providing Khalil's information to the Trump administration, leading to his arrest. Betar, designated an extremist group by the Anti-Defamation League, ADL, boasts of submitting thousands of names of students and faculty affiliated with universities like Columbia, University of Pennsylvania, UCLA, and Syracuse, alleging their involvement in pro-Palestinian activism. This aggressive stance aligns with the Trump administration's broader efforts to crack down on what it perceives as anti-Israel sentiment on college campuses. Betar's actions are not isolated. Several other right-wing, pro-Israel organizations are actively supporting the administration's deportation efforts, creating a coordinated network of pressure aimed at silencing pro-Palestinian voices. The implications of Betar's actions extend beyond the immediate impact on Khalil. Their public declaration of targeting naturalized citizens within a month reveals an alarming ambition to expand their reach beyond international students, raising concerns about the potential erosion of civil liberties and due process for a wider segment of the U.S. population. This aggressive approach has prompted criticism from civil rights advocates, who see it as a dangerous precedent that could be used to target other minority groups and political dissidents. The Trump administration's stance and executive order, **. The Trump administration's stance on this issue is unequivocal. President Trump himself publicly celebrated Khalil's arrest as the first of many to come, indicating a clear policy to target and deport foreign students involved in pro-Palestinian protests. This stance aligns with his broader rhetoric framing such demonstrations as support for Hamas, thereby equating legitimate political expression with terrorism. The administration's use of executive orders, such as the one aimed at combating antisemitism, to justify the deportation of students, raises serious questions about the potential for misapplication and abuse of power. The accompanying fact sheet, which pledged to cancel student visas and deport individuals deemed Hamas sympathizers or participants in pro-jihadist protests, casts a wide net that could ensnare students involved in peaceful political activism. Furthermore, the reported plan to utilize AI to identify foreign students for deportation underscores the scale and reach of this effort, raising significant concerns about algorithmic bias and the potential for wrongful accusations. The Khalil case and its implications for free speech, **. The Khalil case is not merely an immigration matter. It represents a fundamental challenge to free speech rights within the U.S. Khalil's arrest followed a period of online harassment and doxing by pro-Israel social media accounts, which included the sharing of videos depicting Khalil participating in peaceful protests against Israeli policies. This online campaign, fueled by accounts such as those belonging to Shai Davidai, a vocal assistant professor at Columbia's business school who was himself previously sanctioned for harassment, directly contributed to Khalil's identification and subsequent arrest. The targeting of Khalil, who served as a lead negotiator for a Gaza Solidarity encampment at Columbia, highlights the vulnerability of activists involved in peaceful protest against Israeli policies. The conflation of legitimate political dissent with support for terrorism, a tactic increasingly utilized by those seeking to suppress pro-Palestinian voices, undermines the principles of free expression and academic freedom. The allegations that Khalil was targeted based on misrepresentations of his statements, his denial of a quote attributed to him by Betar regarding Zionists, further underscores the danger of relying on unsubstantiated online claims as the basis for legal action and deportation. This incident highlights the potential for online misinformation campaigns to be weaponized against political opponents, leading to serious consequences. Responses and opposition, **. The arrest of Mahmoud Khalil has drawn widespread condemnation from free speech advocates and human rights organizations. Protests erupted outside the Manhattan courthouse, with hundreds demanding Khalil's release. Several Jewish organizations, including the New York Jewish Agenda and Aleph, Alliance for Jewish Renewal, have also voiced their concern, emphasizing that combating antisemitism does not justify the violation of fundamental democratic values. The intervention of lawmakers from both sides of the political spectrum, cited by pro-Israel groups as support for the deportation effort, further complicates the issue. While some may view this bipartisan support as validation of the administration's actions, it also underscores the need for a more nuanced and less partisan approach to this sensitive issue. Ignoring the potentially chilling effect on free speech could damage the fabric of American democracy, even if some believe the goal is noble. The broader context, **. Khalil's case is not an isolated incident. It is a symptom of a broader trend of escalating tensions surrounding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in the United States, marked by the increased polarization of political discourse and the growing influence of far-right groups within the pro-Israel movement. The willingness of these groups to utilize aggressive tactics, such as doxing and the provision of information to law enforcement, raises serious concerns about the potential for future abuses of power. The case highlights the urgent need for a more nuanced public conversation about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and its implications for free speech, due process, and democratic values in the United States. A balanced approach that respects the right to protest while simultaneously combating antisemitism is crucial to preventing future incidents like Khalil's arrest. The continued targeting of individuals based on their political beliefs, especially when fueled by partisan agendas and online harassment, poses a significant threat to a society that values freedom of expression and justice for all. The long-term consequences of such actions could extend far beyond the individual case of Mahmoud Khalil.